also happening in the Ghana Premier League. We'll bring you some updates on that if time permits on the show today. But also the WAFCON, the Women's African Cup of Nations draw was held yesterday. The Black Queens now know the teams that were playing the group stage. Mali is in there, Cape Verde is in there, and Cameroon. Those are the teams that were playing in the group stage of the tournament. Of course, that tournament will also be hosted in Morocco. So we'll try and bring you some update on the WAFCON also in the course of the show. Real Madrid, we are hearing some news about Zinedine Zidane. We'll try and see what that really is all about. And of course, the caretaker manager handled their first game, I think 2 days ago. They lost to the second division team, Albacete. Of course, very disappointing for Barcelona. They managed to dispatch their side yesterday. For Chelsea also, they were happy despite losing to Arsenal in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, but they hope to turn things around in the second round, so we'll see how that works out. For Manchester United also, Michael Carrick has taken over there. He is going to handle the team for the rest of the season, so we'll see how things works out for them. Antoine Semenyo has been good, fine form for Manchester City, scoring again in their Carabao Cup game against Newcastle United, so really good time for him. But Baby Jet, he's been speaking to Rio Ferdinand. Yeah, he said the AFCON is like World Cup to him. He said the AFCON is like World Cup. AFCON, it's a World Cup, mommy. He made some points about the AFCON calendar also. He said CAF should look at it and change it. You should come after the season so that we'll see how it works out. Anyway, let me get to my guys in the studio now. Muftau is seated there. And hopefully their microphones are on. Guys, can you just test the microphone? Let me see.
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you. You are sounding like some rapper, Charlie. Yo.
Yeah, I rap back in the day, yeah.
Oh, you used to rap?
Yeah.
In secondary school?
No. Before secondary school.
Way before secondary school?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I featured on tracks with Jay-Z and Ja Rule and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No wonder they say you're an ancestor who was reincarnated.
As I go and sleep with this moment.
Carrie said Daniel should do something small.
Daniel, at least just try something.
No.
You are not in the mood.
No.
But Karim too, Karim too has history.
I can bring my Cylindrian voice.
Really? Come on, Muftau. Really?
Yeah.
Muftau?
I've got a Cylindrian
No, which
voice.
Celine song do you know?
I can read your mind.
Charlie?
And I know your story.
Lover boy.
Clap for you. You have to clap now.
No, Muftau. She said vibes in Kwan.
I even have AFCON voice too.
Really?
Yes, I tell you.
Which of the songs?
Hey. Which of them?
But you say you have the voice, you know.
I don't have
So which of the
voice.
songs?
Okay, so let me take this one.
Uh,
As life goes on, I'm beginning to learn more and more about responsibilities. I realize the things I've done around me. It's why all pay attention. Relax.
you say you have
Pay
the voice.
attention, you
We are waiting for the
so
echo voice.
No.
We are waiting for the echo voice.
not
This is
singing.
off record. This is off record.
Yeah, but
Karim is recording.
off record. Are you for real?
That
You're
is
on
how-
Joy FM.
that is how-
99.7.
You're on radio.
So off record. You're on Joy FM, my brother. Off record. Yeah. Wow.
This guy, pa.
Oh, wow.
But the thing I sing, you know, Siam.
No, I didn't hear the Akon voice in it, honestly. The
Wow.
Celine Dion, I could tell, you know, there's a bit of potential there, but the Akon one, no, I didn't. Charlie, Akon voice.
There's a bit of potential.
Yeah, for the Celine Dion one. I can read you.
You know, Musbah, you know,
Yeah.
if you want to insult me
No,
directly.
I did that. Yeah.
Today is going to the
Today is Thanksgiving. I know it's wasn't anybody. Charlie, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I know
Thanksgiving.
it's Thanksgiving. So yeah, we are just entering the thing like that.
And in fact, since you just mentioned Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
let's thank Stephen Eku and then Gifty of Emigo. Yummy yogurt.
Okay.
They brought us yogurt.
When?
Sweet
You are yet
yogurt.
to see it. It is with me.
When did it arrive?
I can decide to give it to you or
No,
not.
you don't do that.
I suck.
Then I'm offering you a microphone. You can't thank them if you.
I suck.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just came.
I saw him holding the thing. He didn't even tell me anything.
It just came.
Ah.
I told
He
you.
was fighting somebody. When
Fent-
I saw him, he was
Fent is
fighting
smiling.
somebody.
Fent, no, this one ain't no good.
He's smiling because he will miss it.
Oh yeah, no Fent there.
He has missed it.
Did you see the food he ate last night?
Who?
This man.
Really?
Fentu.
He sent you the picture.
Eduane pa.
Frank, can you hear us?
In fact, it appears he have.
Loud and clear.
They are. You said some food be you ate yesterday, like that.
You see how he's smiling? It appears he's regurgitating the food. So.
I will trail.
You should have seen the plate.
Big shout out to Amigo Ghana, right?
Yeah,
big shout out.
Big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out.
Gifty and Stephen Eku.
Yeah.
Stephen Eku is
Why? They've come to give you people free yogurt.
No, big shout out to Amigo Ghana.
Amigo Ghana,
Yeah, big
They
shout
brought the
out.
yogurt too, but we've not seen it.
We've
We've
not
started
seen it,
skipping the yogurt.
Besides,
Oh, Danike, don't worry. Ramsto, it is coming.
I saw.
Because of the unholy and ungodly hour in which you will drink the yogurt. You understand?
If you enter,
The problem is not with the yogurt. It is the time he will drink the yogurt.
I saw.
After what he has eaten already, mostly too much granite.
The mixture. The granite.
The granite.
Hey, Muftar and granite.
no, Fentu, I never knew you had.
Are you a rabbit?
You had issues with me.
oh, Muftar, they say you like granite. Wow.
Even in Morocco, you're talking about granite. Yes, I do like granite.
Wow.
And what happened
Yes.
when you ate granite?
Oh, it was just one off.
One day.
One off. I
Ah.
took granite and I had a running stomach.
Really? Granite?
I tell you.
Was it the boiled one or like the normal granite?
No, the raw one. I don't like the boiled one.
Wait, the normal one. The one they.
Yeah, the raw one. The one you just bring from the farm.
First
When
time
I
I'm
get
hearing
it,
that.
I-
Somebody eats granite and. Wow.
First time. When
Granite.
we're farming it on the farm. No, what time you get the go boiler?
No, wait. You mean the raw one? The raw.
The raw one. Yes.
Oh, okay. That
The
one,
raw
yeah, I
one.
understand. I understand.
The raw one.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's
Let's get into it now. Let's get big.
Karim
shout
is
out to
bringing the
Amigo
yogurt. You will all see it.
Ghana. Yeah, fine.
Thank you.
fine.
God bless you.
We'll see. Yeah, so big shout out to Amigo Ghana. We are all building up to the invitational. We have some months to go, so they've started announcing themselves. All right, let me just start with Fent. Fent, it's been an interesting week in Morocco. I mean, you want to talk about the semi-final action in particular. Just give us a sense of the atmosphere now, because right after the game against Nigeria, we saw the streets of Morocco and they went wild. It's like, yeah, it feels like this is going to be our time. It's been how many? Is it about 48 hours after the game now? What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah. I think it's been slightly subdued. Today's a rather cloudy and cold day, so there's not a lot of people outside. Many people are trying to keep warm inside. But the build-up itself, everywhere around town, when we've been inside taxis or Ubers, every single person talks about the game. And they're always quick to ask you for your prediction of the match, even though they only want one kind of prediction. You can tell that there is no lack of enthusiasm for this particular match. And again, once they discover that you are a journalist, everybody is curious. They want a ticket, always harassing you for tickets. And that's because the final tickets are completely sold out. All 68,000 tickets gone. And they had been gone for a while. It's almost as if the Moroccans knew they were going to make the final. So if you waited until after the semi-final to look for a final ticket, you wasted your time. You were never going to get a ticket. And I think generally, as the competition has reached the latter stages, the stadiums have become fuller. And I'm quite sure that after the tournament, CAF would probably reveal some outstanding figures in terms of attendance to AFCON games. We know that at the beginning there were issues with one or two matches here and there, but I think by and large attendance has been quite good. And the attendance in Rabat in particular, without a doubt, has been ridiculous. There's always been more people outside of the stadium than inside. And Morocco have played every single game at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium. They've been lucky to do that because they have absolutely blown teams apart in the sense that they've won all but one of all of the 6 matches they've played here in Rabat. So you can tell that the atmosphere has been building for a long time. Moroccans genuinely believe that they have a chance to win this AFCON. This is their first final in 22 years. Last time they were here was back in 2004 when they lost to Tunisia. And so you can tell that there are many people, many Moroccans who have never seen their country in the final of an AFCON. But in terms of even winning it, you have to go all the way back to 1976. That's 50 years, the last time they won an AFCON. Even Ghana hasn't gone that long without an AFCON. I think we are on our 46th year, so maybe we'll end it next year before it gets to 50. But Morocco have had to wait till 50 years to get themselves in this position. And so you can tell that many of the people here genuinely want to see their country lift a trophy. And it will be a befitting crowning moment for Moroccan football, which has shown enormous development over the last 6 to 7 years. They've invested hugely in infrastructure, youth development, in scouting. Majority of the Moroccan players were born abroad. They brought them all together, fighting for the Moroccan flag, and all of those systems. And they've basically become the home of a lot of CAF competitions. So I think this, they believe, is their birthright, that it's time for them to be rewarded for all of the commitment and investment they've made in all of the years before. So I can understand why every Moroccan feels that the time has never been more right for them to win an AFCON title. And if you look at their run to the semi-finals of the World Cup, in that period, they've won the Arab Cup. To not win an AFCON in what many would consider a golden generation of Moroccan football, it would be a massive, massive disappointment. So you asked about the atmosphere. I think it's pretty chill, cautious optimism. Many people feeling positive that Sunday could be their day.
Interesting. Let me just come to the studio and let's get into the two games that happened. First, Senegal were in action against Egypt, and then, of course, we had Morocco and Nigeria. Maybe, Daniel, let me start with you. Which of the games stood out for you the most? Maybe if you want to touch on both two, you can do that.
Yeah, it's very difficult to pick which one. I think both were two very good games. Typical semi-finals. Both teams, all four teams, not willing to overcommit, not willing to take too many risks, because it's very crucial. You win the game, you are through to the final. You lose, and you missed out just one step to the final. So it was very understandable coaching battles through and through, and we saw the highest level of coaching on the continent. It was top class, in my opinion. Fine margins in there, and one of those things where I think, aside the Nigeria and the Morocco game, which Morocco won on penalties, had Morocco lost, you could have looked at the numbers and said yes, they might have deserved to win. But the Senegal-Egypt game was fine margins. The goal Mane scored was not, you don't classify that as a chance. It was not necessarily a chance. It's just a moment of magic from a top-class player. And at this stage of the competition, when you have games like that, that is where you want your big boys to come through for you, and he managed to do that for Senegal. Heartbreaking for Egypt, heartbreaking especially for Mohamed Salah. Yet again, Senegal stands in their way of getting to their goal. They lost the 2021 final, then they lost a spot at the World Cup to Senegal just a couple months after the 2021 final. Then they've lost a place in the final again. And in all those three games, very close, tight encounters, Senegal edging it. So Egypt to look, if they've done it, they've done it. If they've tried it, and they just keep on missing out by the thinness of margins. And it can be painful. I understand the heartbreak that the Egyptians have gone through, because we've gone through something like that before. But the Nigeria-Morocco game, I was very disappointed in Nigeria and their approach. They had the best attack in the competition leading up to that game. I think they still have the best attack in the competition. They had created the most chances. Yet they go into probably the most important game of the competition yet for them, and then they completely changed their approach. In 120 minutes, just a single shot on target. Bono had to make just one save, which was for me very disappointing. Because you look at the attacking talents that they have in that attacking four. In three of them, Marco Adams, Osimhen, Lookman, and then Iwobi also, who is like the the orchestrator in the team. All those guys played. The only guy who was missing, or the only key player who was missing, was Ndidi. Yes, it takes something out, but you look at the options on the bench. Onyedika, who came in, is good enough. There's a Nandi boy who plays in Belgium, good enough to take the place and still maintain that game plan, maintain that philosophy and that strategy. But Eric Schell decided to change it for I don't know why he did that. And for 120 minutes, he just couldn't cope with what Morocco were doing. And it was very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. And it's the second time. This is like the last AFCON when he was in charge of Mali. And they were up against the host nation, Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire got a red card. Then Mali scored. Then some way, somehow, Cote d'Ivoire scored 2 goals in extra time to turn it around. That's the one they were pointing the water on his head. No? Yeah. And if you look at how he lost the game tactically after taking the lead against Cote d'Ivoire, it's like high pressure situations. When the thing is right in front of him, then he crumbles. And again, not say Morocco is not a good team, but if anybody has watched Nigeria, you don't even need to watch all their matches. If you watch one Nigeria match this competition, you know how good they are. And for them to reach the semi-final, the final is looking right in your face, and they play that sort of football for 120 minutes. Not like it happened in spells. The entire game, 90 minutes plus extra time, they were on the back foot, had to defend. They were already defending well. It's like if you sit back and you want to defend, at least.
As for the not defending well, there's been some viral video, small video be like that.
The Usai someone, the guy
I think maybe that's
the guy the where he shows all the comments. You finish say referee. You finish say the referee was this thing. You the tree your source all the comments for the this thing. Yeah, you finish go and stand there. You see the referee is doing something.
You see the water thing you just mentioned. It reminds me of a certain video or like say pour me water, but head the boss.
Charlie. No, the guy.
But you can understand to some extent. You can understand why the coach decided to approach the game like that. I mean,
no, I understand. Yeah. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I started by saying that it's semi-final. Yeah. It's very typical of coaches to do that. But I'm saying that as the game is going on, and I made the last statement I made. It's not like they were defending well, because Morocco were coming at them. Morocco were creating opportunities, and there were spaces in behind. So I'm saying that during the game, you can tweak something small to at least capitalize on the spaces that they are leaving there. They were just blunt. Osimhen, Lookman, Akko Adams, blunt. They were struggling for service. When they received the ball, they were so isolated from each other, and it was almost like there was no offensive plan in that game. That's why I think it was disappointing, especially because they were the best attacking team. The best attacking team can switch up for at least 10 minutes in the game, get a goal, or at least threaten their opposition to pin them back a bit. But Nigeria did nothing like that, which was very disappointing. And in the penalty shootout, more times, most often than not, you go to penalties and the team that has played very well go up and lose. But I'm happy that Morocco won. Based on how the game went, Morocco deserved to win that penalty shootout, and I'm glad that the Nigerians lost it out. If you go and play that kind of football, you deserve to go out.
Well, you deserve to go out. I don't think they deserve to go out. I mean, they put some of the blame on the referee, and Mufti, maybe that's where you come in. They put some of the blame on the referee. You watched the game, I believe you watched the game. Yeah, you've also been interacting with some of your Nigerian friends.
Like 99% of the AFCON matches. So I don't think the referee was the reason why the Nigerians lost. I can understand their concerns, because even from where I sit, if any official take decisions involving a Ghana match where some of the decisions I believe are unfair and can have a psychological impact on the Black Stars, because it will impact on how they will approach the game, the kind of energy they will exert, because they will begin to be very cautious, knowing very well that going so hard might attract cars. Yeah. Going so hard might get their opponent some opportunities in certain areas on the pitch. You just foul a player around. Isn't that
normal in football? I mean, some of these players, they've played at the highest level, and they're obviously
it is a psychological thing. Yeah. It's a psychological.
But they've been through this situation before.
It's purely psychological thing. The moment you realize the kind of approach the referee, or the kind of energy the referee is going to give to you, that is where you begin to call back. However, as Daniel has mentioned, Nigeria did not put themselves in a position to be able to win the match. So even if you are going to look at the decisions of the referee, they didn't have any huge impact on the game. I can understand the psychological aspect. Maybe you are looking at an incident involving especially the first yellow card that was handed to Calvin Bassey, where Brahim Diaz had dragged him. So in an attempt to run and block him, his hand went to his back. As well, it
hit his face.
It did hit his face.
It did hit his face.
It did hit his
Let
face.
me finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish. As to whether it got his face or the guy deceived the referee.
Although he did.
But we saw the replay. Did his hand hit his face or not? It's a simple yes or no because there's evidence.
Yeah, it did.
Did he hit his face or not?
So was the dragging a fair challenge?
If you saw the drag, then you must also have seen the hand on the
So
face.
the point here is this. We all saw what transpired.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I witnessed,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a foul against Ibrahim Diaz.
Yeah.
Because he first did it.
Yeah.
However, from the referee's positioning, maybe he didn't see that. He saw Ibrahim Diaz going down on a challenge of Bassey.
Yeah.
And decided to give him a yellow card. So you can give the referee the benefit of doubt for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then there were countless other incidents where a Moroccan player had the ball. The Nigerians were going after him. The referee blew the whistle. Right? There was another one, which was Moses Simon. Once Moses Simon came in, there was one where, I don't know if it was Hakimi, who tried to kick the ball. Kicked it, the ball went out for corner. They took a foul against Nigeria.
Yeah, it was a foul. Do you know why it was a foul? Did you see that Hakimi, Moses Simon had grabbed Hakimi's left arm under his armpit? Players do that. Where the Ramos Salah incident at the 2018 Champions League final, Salah's arm had been trapped by Ramos's inside his armpit, and he dragged it out, and the guy dislocated his arm. Go and look at the replay. He had trapped Hakimi's left arm. It's a foul.
So the foul was on the
It was on Hakimi.
So
the trap arm.
Let me finish.
The trap arm, and there was a pull.
Danny, let me finish.
So you might not think it's a foul, but me, I think it's a foul.
That's
And
the
the referee
point.
also thinks it's a foul. And unfortunately for both of fortunately for me, the referee agrees with me. Unfortunately for you, the referee doesn't agree with you. So
this
if
is
you
the
want...
point. Danny, relax. This is my point. My point is that from where I sit, I think it's a foul against the Moroccan, not the Nigerian. However, the referee thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
And you can give him the benefit of that because of his positioning.
Yeah.
Right? If he saw it, probably he would have thought that, oh, no, you did it first, so I'm going to give a foul against you. So some of these incidents, they often happen in the game of football. That's why I started by saying that Nigerians did not put themselves in a position to be able to win. So they cannot blame the referee for the kind of performances we saw from them. As you mentioned, within 2 hours of football, only Lukman was able to try the goalkeeper. The rest, it was as though Moses Simon, Akko Adams, and Osimhen were on a different part of the pitch. The midfield was somewhere different, and the defenders too were somewhere different.
Yeah.
The chemistry in the Nigerian game on that day wasn't flute-flowing as we saw them from the first group stage of the game, or the games, all the way up to the semi-final.
So the attempt to blame the referee.
No, I don't.
You think it's a
They,
bit?
they,
It's a bit
they went
misplaced.
as far as reporting his Instagram account for it to be taken
Look,
down
it's
and
so
all
flawed.
that.
It's so flawed.
And they've not. That
You
one
see,
there
we
is-
should have seen it coming.
They cannot blame the
Before the
referee.
game, when they have started those narratives, it's very typical. Big teams do. Real Madrid, they do it. Klopp, you before a big game, then ask for this referee. He knows he has it. These things, they are all mind games. They intentionally do it, and it's to put the referee under pressure, so that when he's on the pitch, he's afraid that they say that he will cheat them. So he will, no. But Daniela stood. He stood on business, a man of integrity, and he stood on business. The point is, you see, when you are saying something is a bad decision, then it must be clear. That's what the English people use. Clear and obvious. But when you look at the Bassey thing, the Bassey's hand hit Brahim Diaz's face or not? It hit his face.
Yeah.
So, if your hand slaps somebody's face, it's not a yellow card. Even in some aspect, if they slow it down enough, they can say violent conduct and they can give you red card. We've seen some in the Premier League, which is in extreme cases.
Yeah, that would have been extreme.
Extreme cases. But the point is, if you swing your hand and you slap the guy's face, it's a yellow card. So he gave a yellow card. So why are you now coming to act like
But they said
that was some contentious decision?
Yeah, but they said it was a foul first on Brahim for dragging Calvin.
And that's a very interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
You said dragging like he had held his shirt for 15 seconds and was holding. They were chasing the ball.
But does it have to be 15
It doesn't have to be 15 seconds, but it happened in a split second. He dragged the shirt, he turned, and that's what the referee saw.
So they say, why
the
didn't
referee
you take
saw
the
the
first foul?
Exactly. So if you think that, oh, this one was a first foul, and the referee also show you evidence that it was a face slap. Once you can understand why, or once you know why the referee gave a yellow card, and you agree that a slap on the face is a yellow card, then don't argue. You see, don't come and act like that's some contentious decision. You get it? It's like saying a penalty is a penalty.
Yeah.
Contact in the box is a penalty. You can say it is soft, but at the end of the day, it is all discretionary.
If there was contact, there's
If
contact.
there was contact, there was contact. You can say maybe it's not enough for a penalty, but somebody to think it's enough for a penalty.
And let me
so
bring,
at the end of the day,
yeah,
you
let
can't sit there and come
me
and
bring
say,
Fent in there. And I'll just look at the
before
numbers.
you bring Fent in,
Yeah.
just a quick one. What I want Daniel to understand is that referees, they are on the field. It takes them a split second to make a decision.
Yeah.
Those of us watching on television have an opportunity of a replay.
that one say if you are wrong.
Because of that opportunity of a replay, that's why we can now sit down and say, no, this should have been this, it should have been that. But what the referee saw was what he whistled to.
Yes.
That's just the point I want to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if the referee thinks that this incident is a foul, he will blow his whistle. However, there are people of the opinion that some of the decisions, a chunk of them went against one opponent,
Which is not true.
When
Because
in
there are
other
numbers. You see, at the end of the
instances-
day,
and that's what I was
there are
coming
clear
to.
numbers.
You see,
So
that's what I was
can
coming
I
to.
finish making my point?
Yeah, yeah.
If I make your point, then you can make your point as well.
Yeah, make your point.
Right.
Just so that I can.
There's a certain group of people who actually believe that some of the decisions, a chunk of them went against Nigeria, when in some instances, Moroccans were in similar situations where the referee too could have taken decisions.
So
But
you, what do
even
you think? You know, what do you think? It's an opinion show. So what do you
No,
opinion?
no,
You don't want to know what
that's
some
what I'm
people
saying.
think.
That's what I'm saying. That from where I sit, the Calvin Bassey yellow card, it was Diaz who committed the foul. In fact, El Kabi, I personally believe El Kabi should have given a yellow card because there were two instances where he went like it was more of a mixed martial art with Calvin Bassey, took him down to the ground twice. The referee never even saw that to be any incident. That's why I actually believe that, yes, it is his opinion, and his opinion is final. However, I also have an opinion. And my opinion, based on what I saw, is that it's supposed to be a foul. And when you don't take that foul, and it is a game involving Ghana, I wouldn't be happy with the referee. That is clearly my
I mean,
point.
if you look at the numbers, though, look at the fouls that were taken against Nigeria, 26 of them. Fouls taken against Morocco, 22 of them. 4 fouls, just 4. All right. So, I mean, someone look at this, just this number. He's like, oh, was Morocco really allowed to go scot-free like that? Based on these numbers, you get the sense that, well, the referee tried to do his best. But like you said, and that's the point I even made, and Fent, you can come in now, that look, there's no way you're going to have a referee, officiate a game and have a perfect game. There's always going to be instances here and there. But I think if you listen to the narrative among the Nigerians, it's almost like, Charlie, the man came with an agenda, and it's been very unfair to the referee. Friend.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And where is Achu? He's one of the people I wanted to address this to directly. But look, I think this is my take, and I put this out on social media as well. I thought that my initial view when the appointment of the referees came out was that I thought Daniel Lai, as competent as he is, was always going to emerge from this game the villain. It didn't matter the outcome, because Moroccans were always going to say he's helping West African brothers if they lost. The Nigerians were always going to say what they're saying now, that he's Ghanaian and he just didn't want them to go far, so he's dropped in favor of the Moroccans. I think those nuances, those dynamics are always, especially in our part of the world. Elsewhere, they don't. Even in the Premier League, right? We have these issues every now and then when they say this referee is from here and you're giving him a game that involves a team from there. Like, these things always have. Like, it's a global issue. It's not just an African problem. And so I expected that CAF would be a bit more aware of these nuances. They're very important. So my suggested solution would have been to swap the two referees, taking Daniel Aye to the Senegal game with Egypt, and then brought the Gabonese referee to the Nigeria versus Morocco game. Because my solution wasn't that to drop Lai. I think Lai has built himself to get to this point. He's our very best referee, and he has been for a long time. And so for anybody to suggest that he went there to do a hatchet job, I think that is just going a bit too far. The game itself, he made an errors, but point me to a single referee in any game where he's not made a single error. But were those errors so egregious to the point where you could suggest sabotage or suggest that there was some sort of scandal? I don't think so. Yellow card for dissent that wasn't given, what would that have changed? It happens a lot. In fact, dissent is discretionary. Yes, I think we all agree that more often than not, in such situations, a yellow card gets given. But the referee didn't give a yellow card. And as Azuri, I don't know how that affected him. He's not like he's a centre-back who would have been more cautious about his tackles once that happened. And it's not like he went on to commit another foul where he got a first yellow card. Then we could argue that the first one should have been a yellow and that she should have been sent off. I mean, it's not one of those situations where you could point to and say, this is such a bad decision because at this point, that should have happened if this yellow card... Okay, if the Azuri yellow card was given, then what? He finished the match with a yellow card. Because after that incident, it's not like he went on to commit another really bad tackle where he deserved a yellow card or where he got another yellow. There was no such thing that happened to us. So look, we are all analyzing the game with the benefit of hindsight. The Nigerians or people are shouting that should have given him a yellow card. Okay, what if you gave him a yellow card? Then how would that have changed the trajectory of the game? How would that have helped Nigeria to go on to win? So it's discretionary, and many people can disagree with him and criticize him for not doing that, and that's okay. But I don't think that suggests that he was doing a job for Morocco, like many people want us to believe. Or like Daniel and Muftau spoke about the foul, or was it a corner kick, Mosi Simon incident? Another discretionary one, and then the Calvin Bassey yellow card. Calvin Bassey, even after getting that yellow card, still went on to have... I thought Calvin Bassey was the man of the match.
Yeah, actually.
He had a phenomenal game. You understand? And let's be honest, football matches, how many times haven't we said that a yellow card should not be a yellow card? But it's given anyway. Because it's just the nature of the game. So you can disagree with all of those things. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is the suggestion that because you disagree with decisions that he made in the game, it meant that he was doing a job for Morocco, that he was intentionally sabotaging Nigeria, that he was desperate to make sure that Morocco qualified. I don't think it was that sort of calamitous officiating that happened on the day. I think that the mistakes are just getting magnified because of the circumstances and the nuances and all of the perceptions before the match and all of the conversations before the game. That's why I think all of those things are getting magnified. Because if this went in the way of Nigeria, I think the Moroccans would have had issues as well. And they probably would have been suggesting that they should have given a penalty for them. So either way, the referee went in to do his job. And I thought that Daniel Lai did an okay job. I don't think that he was excellent, but he was good. And to be honest, how many referees come out of games being excellent in that sense? So, but what we need to all agree on and accept is that the officiating on the day wasn't so calamitous as to suggest that it was scandalous. So let's stop that. Let's stop vilifying him. Let's stop making it seem like he didn't know what he was doing in there. Look, I don't even know why I'm being forced to defend a referee, because I mean, seriously, the more serious countries here are talking about the performances of their national team, and here we are, our only pride is defending a referee. Man, like, I don't get it. And look at the passion with which Danike was defending the referee, and this is the only
my brother.
But that's all we've got left now. That's all we've got left now. You know.
I mean, Musbah, think about it. That is so sad. That is so sad. Like, that's so sad. Look, people look at the Nigerians talking about their national team, passionate about how they should have been in the final. Moroccans are in the final. They're passionate about it. Egypt, and as for us, referee, we get a referee.
Fetio, our members of parliament were actually on social media.
Oh, God.
Congratulations him for making Ghana proud.
How the mighty has fallen. How the mighty has fallen.
Well,
seriously.
Yeah,
all of us, we have not come to defend the referee. Sicho is here. He's going to defend the referee.
Yeah.
George is going to defend the referee. Danica has defended the referee. We are all defending. So all of a sudden, we are all Daniel fans. What is this?
Yeah, he's our brother.
Yeah, he's our brother.
He's our brother.
He's our brother. Yeah, man.
All because we didn't qualify for the AFCON. Because I'm sure that if we qualify for the AFCON, our Ghanaian referee officiating another game would have been the least of our concerns.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
we'll be more concerned about the performance of our own national team.
Yeah.
I don't know any suggestion that it was a scandalous game and he's going to. I don't know. Look, let's just.
You just mentioned George. George has joined us. And Sicho has also joined us, of course. They are also our brothers making Ghana proud at the AFCON.
Actually, even beat the
man. Yeah,
our
man.
brothers.
Yes. Yeah, man. Our brothers.
We are not there, our brothers are making history.
Our brothers are making history. Those who are officiating, those who are describing the situation. Remember the commentator. Oh, where's the foul? Where's the foul there?
Where's the foul?
Where's the foul?
What does he mean?
Where's the foul?
Now, ask George. George was there. He saw it. What did you see from Daniel? What did you see?
George, hey, what did you see? George, good to have you. Good to have you. I mean, tell us a bit of assessment of the game.
I just think Daniel did what he could do. And of course, perceptions rule the game of football. So I agree that before the game, we had centered Daniel too much. And a bit of what Frank was saying, because he was probably our biggest news, we had to talk about Daniel and a Ghanaian referee being the semi-final. That was one. And then also you have Ghana, Nigeria. So it's a different flavor. Nigeria playing the game, and there's a Ghanaian referee. The Nigerians obviously would say we're not happy about it, but think about it. Ghana was not in the competition, so Ghanaian referee is free to handle handle it irrespective of whatever happens. We've seen a Nigerian handle a Moroccan game. We've seen all of those things, and so what is it? I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. And then the performance itself, I think he did what he could do. There were a few 50-50, maybe I say decisions that could have gone the way of Morocco or could have gone the way of Nigeria. It's all fair. We played a game of 120 minutes. I think over that, Morocco were the best side. And that's what, for me, as a commentator watching the game closely, it's a big deal. And for those who even say that, I think the referee cheated, and I told them, I have seen a referee cheat for Ghana very well, and we didn't win it. 2013. You can't tell me, Ghana was Burkina Faso, you can't tell me the referee didn't do something for us.
That is the worst officiating I have seen in my entire life. And it's all was for Ghana.
We still didn't qualify. So
and since then, that referee, his career took a nosedive.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the referee is on the side of another team does not even guarantee that you are going to make it to the next stage of the competition if you don't play well. And we saw Burkina Faso. I mean, even Jonathan Retova had like a red card. We all didn't understand. Obviously, we understood after the game. But they took us the penalty shootout, and they won. So, in the case of Nigeria, Morocco, I think that let's credit Morocco. Let's talk about what Morocco started doing after the game against Tanzania when they played against Cameroon with an impressive press where they leave you to play in your half of the pitch, and when you crossed the half of the pitch, and then they also adapted the strategy of being physical because they knew the kind of challenges they were coming up against when they play against West African sides, and the tweaking of the tactics by the head coach Rigagui. So that's what we should be talking about, because they have played so well against Cameroon, played so well against Nigeria. Nigeria's attack was lost. We didn't see all the fluidity that we expected. Akol had a bad day. I don't think Onyedika was a very good replacement for Ndidi. He was a bit slow on the ball. And even Bassey, where they say Bassey had a yellow card, and that's why Bassey had a fantastic game, even after the yellow card. If there was no Bassey in the game, I don't know what would have been of Nigeria in that one. So clearly, Morocco deserves to be in the next stage of the competition, to be in the final, so far as I'm concerned. And let's talk more about that and leave Daniel Nilai. He did his best.
He did his best. Sicho, just coming on also. What's your thoughts on this also?
I'm very disappointed by a lot of people, because I think at times people don't have a mind of their own and they are easily swayed by narratives. And because ahead of the game, the conversation was why is a Ghanaian referee officiating in a game against in a game that involves Nigeria. I don't know why that should be an issue. I don't know why a referee from one region can ref a game of another country in that same region, right? And these are professionals. We make mistakes here. These are professionals who all their lives they've been working so hard to be able to be the men calling the shots on these 90 minutes of games, semi-finals of major competitions, finals of major competitions. And Eli throughout his whole life has been working to this moment. You are telling me that because it is Nigeria, all the work he puts in from when he was a young referee to this point was for him to turn up in this moment against Nigeria and make a mockery of himself? Absolutely crazy not, right? So my point is, there are so many people who don't think through things quite clearly before they throw the things up. And here is the point. Even for the calls that people claim that Lion made and was against Nigeria, those were subjective calls.
Yep.
I have not seen one clear-cut call that went against Nigeria. All of them were subjective. The first one, the funniest one, is the Calvin Bassey yellow card. And anybody who goes on that tangent comes across to me as somebody who's on a cheap agenda or lacks the basic understanding of what the rule says. And here is it. Calvin Bassey, his shirt was being pulled by Brahim Diaz. Yes. Calvin Bassey was still in control of the situation. He had not gone down. So Lai allowed the game to go on. And then, when Brahim Diaz let loose of his shirt, unfortunately for Calvin Bassey, he flicks his left arm and it touches the face of Brahim Diaz. The rule is clear on when a player's flicking arm touches the face of the opponent. It is a yellow card. Even if Lai halted the game or called for a foul on Calvin Bassey's shirt pull, and Calvin Bassey, after the whistle, still threw his hand and he caught the face of Brahim Diaz, that singular incident is a yellow card. It's an incident that requires a yellow card even more than the shirt pull. So the referee was spot on. Why are you looking at the shirt that was pulled, ignoring the fact that Bassey was in control of the ball and the situation, and Calvin Bassey flicked his hand to touch the face of the player? How do you watch the whole scenario and miss out on that point? Again, when Onyedika got the yellow card, before the replay, I thought it was a clean pick of the ball. Then after the replay, I realized that he actually missed the ball and then touched the top of the foot of his man with the under part of his boot. The referee said it's a yellow card. Then you tell me it's not a yellow card. Okay, so there were some incidents that were hitting that you thought that, okay, maybe it could have gone the other way or it could have gone on. Some looked like, okay, Lai didn't get them right. Which is okay. No referee goes into every game getting every single one of those calls right. Because guess what? The game is fast, the game is quick, and you're likely to miss out on some little details. But did Lion make any significant mistake? Glaring mistake in the game that cost Nigeria not look, let me even wrap up with this. People say the Lion disrupted Nigeria's rhythm of the game. And I told them it's a blatant lie. We all saw the game. I didn't see Lion making calls that stopped Nigeria from counter-attacking. That stopped Nigeria from building up. That stopped Nigeria from sustaining attack. It didn't happen. Almost every call that went, people say in favor of Morocco, was when the ball was being clearly contested, normally centrally or what have you. He did not break any rhythm to Nigeria. What happened on the day was this. Nigeria chose the wrong day not to turn up. Nigeria chose the wrong day to have Osimhen off. They chose the wrong day to have Iwobi off. They chose the wrong day to have Lukman off. They chose the wrong day to have the wrong day to have Aku Adam off. And when you have about 5 of your most important players off on a singular day in a game like the game against Morocco, there's absolutely no way you get the better of them. And that is why the statistics were that Nigeria couldn't even get the shot on target. Nigeria couldn't even create the chances. And that wasn't because of Lai. For me, nobody can look at that game and tell me Lai had a poor game. Nobody can. So I think it's just been unfair. And people were just riding on the rhetorics ahead of the game, which was prejudice, which was perfection and not factual.
Interesting. I want us to look forward to the game between Morocco and Senegal in the final on Sunday now. And if you look at, just looking at the numbers, the two sides have, created so far in this tournament. Very similar, very similar. 9 goals scored so far for Morocco. Senegal doing about 12 goals so far. And, overall, they are two teams who play pretty much similar in terms of how there's some similarity in terms of how they play. And so a lot of people are expecting this to be a really, really exciting game. Daniel, just give us a sense of what we are going to expect tactically from both coaches going into Sunday.
It's a final. We don't expect too many goals in that game. If you go back previous AFCONs, I think the 2017 final and last the Côte d'Ivoire final, that's the only final that has produced more than 2 goals in a game. 2015 ended goalless, it went to penalties. 2019 ended 1-0. 2021 was goalless. And then
it was goalless,
last one, as I said. So just 2 in the last how many years have in fact, if you go back to the 2013, it was 1 goal. Nigeria won 1-0.
We can even go to
you go to 2012, also ended goalless.
Yeah.
So finals 2010 ended 1-0. Finals hardly produce a lot of goals, and especially on the continent. So I don't think we'll see too many goals. I think we'll see similar approaches to what we saw in the semi-finals. Teams not willing to give too much away, and defensive organization is going to be the main focus on Sunday, and experience will also count. Look, the Senegalese have shown incredible growth over the last couple of years. To lose the AFCON 2019 final, then come back in 2021 and win, miss out in Ivory Coast on penalties, and then come back and return to the final again. They've shown how good they are as they are certainly a formidable force on this continent.
Yeah.
In fact, 2017, most people were tipping them to win the competition. Then they lost out on penalties to eventual winners. Since 2017, in fact, after AFCON 2015, nobody has beaten Senegal in the AFCON. Like when they are losing games, they are not. It's all on penalties. So 2017 penalties. 2019, yes, was a 1-0, very narrow one. And then the last AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire also, they lost on penalties.
They've now gone 16 games and beaten the AFCON. Yeah,
and that's a very remarkable record. So when you look at that record and you compare it to the Moroccans, Morocco, this is their first final since 2004. This is uncharted territory. This group of players have never been in a major final, so it's kind of different for them. And I'm looking at the pressure at home for the Moroccans in front of their own fans and the pressure to deliver. Senegal just have this calmness and this experience about them, and I feel they could. I'm tipping Senegal to win, although it's one of those games where it's going to be fine margins. Whoever wins, I'll be happy for them. Whoever loses is also going to be sad, because both teams have worked incredibly hard to get to this point. Look at the investment that Morocco have put in, the growth they've shown over the years. They deserve to be this point. And at the end of the final, only one team will win.
Me, I want to be a bit emotional small. If Morocco win, they will end 50 years. Ghana is still waiting.
You need company.
So Senegal should win so that their weight will drag small. But just as Daniel has mentioned, I think it's based on what I saw Morocco did against Cameroon, they were everywhere. Against Nigeria, they forced Nigeria not to play. I actually believe that they will want to do same against Senegal. But Senegal is a team with different quality. They've got so many good players to the extent that the Moroccans must be very, very cautious. The 12th man on the pitch will push Morocco's hard. I'm sure they're going to have a very packed stadium, a partisan crowd. And they will want the boys to go all out and push Senegal to the wall so that they'll be able to create opportunities. And I believe that if Morocco should create opportunities, they would be able to break through. Senegal will be without the services of their skipper Koulibaly, who was yellow carded in that game against Egypt. And that's going to be a major hole. However, his replacement, when he walked in,
I think he got injured. But and most likely he'll be available at the final.
In fact, he was actually booked. He was booked before he got injured. He was booked in that game. Koulibaly was booked, and that is how he's going to miss a second AFCON final in his career. Yeah, so he was booked in that game. So that also clearly means that he's not going to be available, and that is a hole there that has been created. However, his replacement in that game walked in and played a seamless game. It means that whoever is available, whoever is selected by Pape Thiaw to step in, is going to rise to the occasion. And they all know what this game is going to be about.
Yeah.
The last 4 AFCON tournaments, Senegal have made it to the final 3 times. This is the 3rd one. 2019, they were in the final. They lost to Algeria 1-0. The 2021 edition, which was in Cameroon, played in 2022, they were in the final. They won it, the first time ever. And in 2025, they are in the final. So they have been here. They have done it. They have the experience of doing it. As Danny mentioned, Moroccans have never been here before. In fact, I don't know the average age of their team, but the last time they were here was 22 years ago. So what it actually means is that a chunk of the players who are in there probably have no experience or have never seen Morocco play at this stage of the tournament. So clearly, the advantage will be in favor of Senegal, but with the crowd that has pushed Morocco this far. Yes, I actually believe that Morocco, they'll be, and any team, if any of them wins it, they deserve to win it because they've really shown that they've got what it takes to be champions of the continent.
George, let me bring you in. George, if you're still there, one of the things that also caught my attention are the coaches leading these 2 teams. 2 African coaches, of course, Walid, Morocco, and you've got also Senegal. They are very native leading them. The last time they won it with Aliou Cissé, of course, we're all happy about it. If you look at the record, even I'm just looking at the record from 2006 to now, and it's just 2 foreign coaches who have won the AFCON. The rest of them have been African. There's Hervé Renard of France with Zambia in 2012, and he did it again with Ivory Coast. Then you've got Hugo Broos who did it with Cameroon in 2017. The rest of them, from Hassan, to Stephen Keshi, you go all the way to Jamal, and now Aliou Cissé, and we have the chance to see an African win it again. I mean, just give me a bit of thoughts on this part of the African game that we are seeing now.
What about? Well, I think we see it year in, year out. And I want to say that it's not because you have an African coach or you have a coach from your country that that's what's going to make you win the Africa Cup of Nations. But you have countries that believe and have a certain structure that will produce these kind of coaches we are talking about. Aside that, they have a lot of room to accommodate them and create an environment where they will thrive. So I'm saying, for instance, the Moroccan coach is doing a great job, but the necessary basics have been set for the country in terms of 1, investment, number 2, in terms of having a proper scouting system that locates guys who are not even born in the country, but properly arrange them for them to start playing with the passion, singing like proper Moroccans who were born in the country. So there is an infrastructure in place. There's a structure in place to make sure this happens. I don't need to tell you about how Senegal have gone on with the teams that they present at CHAN, and they look at it all around, whether it's officials, whether it's whatever, they graduate nicely into the senior national team. And so the puppeteer you're looking at right now has done a good job with the CHAN. And when we're looking for a replacement for Aliou Cissé, they went for a man who has handled the national team. Because in all of these things, one thing that you see at the Africa Cup of Nations is every team must be able to crack out its DNA. Okay, so you don't want to come up with a team that doesn't understand what Ghana is or doesn't understand the feel of Ghana because you have just gone the shortcut and probably got a player in just a year ago or got a player. And because I've had the opportunity of doing the commentary, I have a bit to read about the players and see the progression and how they have joined the teams. And you see there are some of the players who played under 20, played under 23, but there is a clear plan. And so that's what I think most countries will have to be looking at. It's not just I have appointed somebody who is my man or somebody who comes from Ghana. That's not enough. There has to be a big plan to make sure that the man in charge is giving as much room as possible to try and get the job done. And that's what we're seeing. And for me, I think it's really special. There's nothing special as having a Ghanaian lead Ghana to win the Africa Cup of Nations, having a Ghanaian lead Ghana to win the World Cup. And remember, it's not just have a Ghanaian or it's not just have a Nigerian, but the kind of football they are playing is world class. So don't just have a Ghanaian, but have a Ghanaian who has all the qualities to deliver, or help him to get the qualities to deliver. Whatever the case is, you must arrive on the stage with everything. We look at the way Morocco are playing. It's good football enough to have be the first country to make the semi-final of the World Cup, and it's good football enough to be in the final of the Africa Cup of Nations and maybe win it. Same about Senegal, you can say. So I don't think that we have different brains. If you're in Europe, you have a different brain from an African brain. If you train an African brain and give an African brain the same opportunities, it can go out there and do it. I hope that when they get to the World Cup stage, we'll see a lot more from them. But for me, it's absolutely fantastic. It's something that a lot of us should learn. Because if you have a man who is from Senegal, he understands what it means to lose a game and how Senegalese are going to respond, and there won't be any clashes here, left and right. And aside that, they've been doing a fantastic job. So I love it. I love to see more African coaches. I want to see more African coaches do it. I pray that more African coaches win it, but they win it without denting the quality of football that we have on the continent. And congratulations to both teams. Whatever happens, they've done a good job.
I mean, you're just talking about the quality of football we've seen from the two sides so far in this tournament. I mean, as a commentator, I'm sure somewhere at the back of your mind, you're looking forward to a really, really good game, aren't you?
Yeah, I think a good game. I'm sure we'll have a good game. It's going to be very tight. It's going to be very tactical. It's going to be physical at times. And I think if you look at the defenses of both sides, they have hardly let a lot in. So we should get ourselves ready from a competitor's point of view, get ourselves ready for 120 minutes, perhaps penalties, probably going to decide it. And we're saying that there are not many goals in the AFCON final. We're just doing a check. The last time we had a 2-goal margin was in 1998. That's a long time ago. I think my South Africa, yeah? Yeah, 1998, I think.
South Africa was 96.
So that's probably it. Was it 98 or 96?
South Africa was 96. Yes.
Because 96 beat Tunisia. South Africa beat Tunisia by 2-0. But Egypt also beat South Africa in 1998 by 2-0. I think that's the last time we had the 2-goal margin, basically. But aside that, we've seen very, very close score lines in the final. I think it's going to be the same. And Morocco maybe the one that gets to win this one because of how loud their fans are if it's a penalty shootout again.
Well, let's see. Fen, come in briefly, and I just want you to touch on the points George made first about what we need to do, not just about an African coach, but also about the infrastructure, putting the infrastructure in place. Because look at Senegal. And the kind of success they've chalked in recent time is not by fluke. You could tell that these people have a certain plan, and it explains why they are chalking the success they are, accruing in the AFCON. To think that they've made it to the final 3 of the last 4 AFCONs, that is incredible. And for Morocco, this is a team that had the target to win the AFCON. And despite the failures they've had in recent time, they stuck to the plan, and here they are in the final. It looks like, who knows, they just might repeat what Tunisia did in 2004. It's about a certain plan working for nations, and I'm not sure how Ghana we can take some cue from that.
Yeah, I think everything boils down to investment. And the investment approach will stem from what our mentality is in terms of how we view sport. I think it's one of the fundamental reasons, of the fundamental mitigating factors for why we haven't necessarily taken the next step. I think we have to change the way we view sport. I think we see it as a leisurely activity. We don't fully embrace the social impact of it. I think we think we do, but I don't think that our actions reflect what our thoughts are. And I will explain shortly, because what I believe is the case in a lot of these countries is that governments have taken sport as a crucial and critical aspect of the economy. The critical aspect of the social life of the people, in fact, a cultural movement, a fabric that is very much a part of the social well-being of the country. If you come to Morocco, the reason they have done, as well as they have done, is that they have invested a lot in infrastructure. You move around the city of Rabat, you see pitches everywhere, and it's all free to use. We built some AstroTurfs here, and we're charging people a lofty sum of money to use it, and people can't have access to them. And the state is maintaining them free of charge for the public to use. If you want a public park to play today for the kids, it's hard to find any. So we are not zoning our cities well. We're not creating play spaces that would allow the kids to play freely. It's all very regulated, and it's all very commercial in nature, and things that are supposed to serve communities are now not accessible, and that's a problem. You look at the beach in Rabat. The whole beach is lined up with sporting facilities, from basketball courts to football, small 5-a-side football pitches, 8-a-side football pitches, 11-a-side football pitches, a stretch of about 11 kilometers. All of it is full of pitches, some natural, some artificial, and all of it is open to the public. I've used them a couple of times. No one asks you for a fee, but it's maintained from the state coffers. There's a whole department that is responsible for keeping these public spaces well maintained and available for public use. What is our own contribution to public spaces? Like, what have we done as a country? Then you go to the FA. The king gives the Moroccan FA around $100 million every single year. They don't ask them for money back, because they don't. How is the Moroccan FA going to pay back $100 million every year? And because they see it as an instrumental part of the social life, something that would bring enormous benefits that can't be quantified in just money. It's quantifiable in other aspects of the lives of Moroccan people. Look at how many people are here. Look at how much hosting these competitions is bringing back into the economy. They have PGA tournaments now. They're building a Formula One circuit. They're building all these things. They're spending money on all these things because, not necessarily because they think that they can get the money back today, but because they see the long-term benefits of it. And we don't think long-term in Ghana, and that is one of our biggest problems. It disturbs me so much that we had a Home Minister go to Parliament, and the justification for why a Black Stars budget should be sponsored is because when we go to the World Cup, we will bring a participation fee, and that will go into government coffers. I don't think that is how we should approach sports development. My thinking is that every single money that comes out of football, the government should not be taking that money. I think the government should be looking at how they can invest that money into infrastructure. The last World Cup that we went to, when we came back, Muftar, how much did they give the FA? $2 million, I believe.
$2.5 million.
$2.5 million. I don't even think that money should be given to the FA. I think the government should say, this money that we had, collaborate with the FA, say, okay, where do we invest this $9 million or this $11 million in football? Then you come up with a strategy on where to invest it. Not take some and give the FA some and fold your arms and say, FA, you take this one and develop football. We are taking this one and we are doing. No, the money is a direct a consequence of footballing activity. The government should be reinvesting all of it back into grassroots development, infrastructure development. Like, what are we doing? We take the money and give them $2 million. What is the FA got? And then we give it to the FA and fold arms and say the FA should do something. I'm saying that the government needs to take an active interest in sports development in this country and look at how they can recycle the money and reinvest all of the money they accrue from all of these endeavors into sports development. So what you've spent in qualifiers, what you've spent in preparing the team, you shouldn't be looking at recouping that money and sending it back to consolidators, fam. That's not, you should be looking at how to rework it and recirculate that money and into aspects of sports infrastructure, aspects of grassroots development, school sports, and all of these things. We've participated in the World Cup so many times. What have we got to show for it? That's my issue. So and those World Cup participations, Musbah, have brought in direct revenue, and we've taken all of that money. 2010, Senegal took all the money. In 2010, that was 2010, right? 2014. Yeah, 2014, similar. We shared half of the money to players, and the rest of it, I don't know what became of it. And the last one, the government took the money and gave the FA 2.5 million and said, go ahead. What was 2.5 million going to do? And that shouldn't be the only look. It can do something, yes.
They are using it to build accommodation at Pram.
That should not be. Imagine how much all that 11 million or how much it could do. From the sports ministry collaborating with the FA or collaborating with school sports authority or collaborating with the NSA to see what can we do with this money. So the money that they took and gave the FA 2.5 million, how much was our total benefit money from the World Cup in Qatar? Around maybe 12 million. We've given 2 million to the FA, 2.5 million to the rest of the money. Where is it? We have youth resource centers that are rotting away. How much is needed to complete them? Less than 5 million. We could have completed all our youth resource centers with money from the World Cup. That goes into grassroots development because those centers are regional based. It's for the local communities in the regions. We've left them. We've taken part of that money. I don't know where we took it to. I'm saying that our approach is one of the biggest reasons we'll constantly be where we are. We don't have a right approach to sports development. It's like we see it. How did you see your participation as the World Cup as a main entity for raising revenue? So much so that you can go to Parliament, Musbao, and say, oh, give us money to sponsor the Blast Act budget. After all, if they go to the World Cup, we'll get 11 million, we'll bring that back to the state. Like, that's not, I don't think that's the right way to view sports development. And it's part of the problem. Look, I think if we can change the way we view sport, I'm happy about the sports fund. I hope that the sports fund is actually resourced. And then we can see, I want to see the next 5 years, what we do with this sports fund and how much comes into it, how it's administered, and not just going to paying bonuses and all these things. The fundamental tool to sports development is infrastructure. We need to start from there.
Okay.
That's what we need to do. That's what Morocco have done. The talent, it's obvious that we don't lack it. We don't lack the talent. But what are the transitional plans for this talent? What are the systems that we put in place to make sure that these talents get the right monitoring and the right development as they progress from one stage to the other? We don't have all those systems in place, and that's what we need to do. If we want to look, otherwise, yes, I think the FA is doing something with all these, because all the other countries, look, all the other countries that are at the AFCON, over 75% of them have players born abroad. So it's not just a Ghana thing. It is the way the competition is going. It's the way African associations are approaching national team development right now. Everybody's looking abroad. Everybody's looking abroad. Morocco, 82% of their players were born abroad. They are in the AFCON final. So all these things that we say all the time about how we need to, only focus on homegrown talent. Yeah, homegrown talent is important, but other countries have shown that depending or relying on homegrown talent alone isn't necessarily the only means to success. Because look at Senegal.
Yeah,
43% of all their players at this AFCON are foreign born. That's nearly half. And that has been the trend. And that sort of scenario, that sort of ratio, 43-57%, is what has taken them to 3 AFCON finals in the last 4. So you don't necessarily always need the players to be born in Ghana in order for you to succeed. And Morocco, other countries have shown it. Morocco, same. You get it? So that's not it. So look, the FA scouting players, Ghanaian players born abroad, I think it's a wonderful thing. If we can bring them together and make them go and succeed and find a system that ensures that they succeed, I think it's all for the betterment of everybody.
All right, friend, let me just do this. Yeah, great. Let me do this. Guys, you're still tuned to Gate Plat. Let me just remind you of our Betway Bet influencer, and we're again reminding you that it's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. So just make sure you place your bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. And if they place bets using your code, you will earn 4% of their wager. Of course, it does not matter whether it's win or loss. If they bet with your code, you earn 4% cash off their wager amount. This means the more people bet with your code, the more you will earn. So start betting, sharing, and winning the Bet Influencer exclusive to Betway. And of course, terms and conditions do apply and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. And always remember to bet the responsible way, because at Betway, you always get way more. And of course, also Western Union, AFCON, they are powering us to bring you this conversation today. Everything AFCON. Sicho, if you're still there, I'm just wondering what's been running through your mind as, you know, we have all this conversation about the lessons we can pick from Senegal and Morocco. Here they are in the finals. And of course, we're still waiting to see the Black Stars make it to the final and even win the tournament. What lessons are there for Ghana and the Black Stars going forward? Sicho, are you there?
I don't think the lessons we can learn from this AFCON is any different from what we've said in the last couple of years. It's still the same thing, and that's why I've always moved the conversation away from an FA, an FA that is not being effective or otherwise. I've always said that sports now is business, and sports now must be a government's full responsibility. What does the government want to do with sport? How does the government view sports? What is the plan? What's the national sporting plan? Because we've seen Senegal do something incredible. And I remember when Senegal started doing well with their local teams and their juvenile teams, there were quite a few people at the FA who were trying to say that those were accidental successes. But we've gone on to see Senegal then produce a very top quality coach from their local team, and the ex-player, now quality coach from their local team, handed him the national team. He's in the final. He's qualified them to the World Cup. After Aliou Cissé, many thought, how on earth would you allow Aliou Cissé to leave, took you to the knockout places in World Cup, won the AFCON with you? But Senegal knew that they were not only building players, but they were building technical heads as well. So my point is, we've known this. There is nothing new that we've learned here in Morocco. If anybody gonna think or says that we've come to Morocco to learn something new, that person, in my opinion, would be lying, or that person is late to the party, because it is a government deliberate intervention to make sports a driving tool for the economical boost. Here's the thing. I've come to Morocco to work on the AFCON, but I've had the opportunity, as I always do, to travel around and see places. What I'm thinking about next is to bring my family here to enjoy Morocco. What does that do to Morocco? It boosts one of their primary source of income, tourism. And I've heard several others say that what they want to come back to Morocco, even when the weather is a lot more favorable for them. And that's the whole idea. You need something to get people's attention to your country. And one of the things that will throw a lot of bodies into your country will be sports. And that's what Morocco is doing. So Ghana prides itself as a hot tourist destination. But what are we doing to bring a lot of people into the country? Is it only to December? Can we compare the number we have in December to the number of people who come into your country when you are hosting a major competition like this? And they have the ability to travel around the country? That is what the government needs to think about. So we need a government that will say, or we need a strong parliament that will say that irrespective of the government that comes into power, this is what we want to do with sports. So these are the sporting policies and plans that the country has got. You start from somewhere, and by the time you realize you are a massive drive to sports tourism in your sub-region. And I think we all have known this for a very long time. Let's not pretend that Morocco has been an eye-opener. It hasn't been, because everything happening in Morocco has been unfolding right under our eyes and under our noses for some time now, and they are now beginning to reap the benefits of the massive work they've put in place. So yeah, for me, I don't think as a country we've tried to be serious with sports. We only see it as a Kobolos game, as a more Kobolo for our sports. But we've not embraced the business aspect and how it opens up a country to the globe yet. And who used to go to Qatar for any tourism or whatever? But since the World Cup, go and ask Qatar what that has done for their tourism. After this AFCON, next year, somebody should check on Morocco's tourism records and numbers. It will be astronomical.
And Sicho, just a quick thought on the organization of the AFCON this year too by CAF, the work that CAF has done in respect to the organization of the event. What's been your assessment of it?
The organization has been superb. It really has been fantastic, and all of that has been held by the infrastructure by Morocco. because fans can jump on the train and then one city and in the another city, then they go to the stadium. The stadium infrastructure is brilliant, so nobody is scared to be anywhere. Fans are very comfortable, and Morocco is very safe. FIFA have got the US, some of their security agencies coming down to come and actually understudy how Morocco are executing their security checks during this competition. That is no joke. That is absolutely no joke. So that's been the level of, organization we've seen in this competition. And this AFCON is right up there with the best competitions in the world. It's right, in terms of organization, it's right up there with Olympic Games. It's right up there with the World Cup. I'm not even going to talk about the Euros because the pinnacle of it is the World Cup. And what Morocco have done is to pitch this AFCON to the level of the World Cup, because they will be hosting the World Cup in some 4 years down the line. And that is exactly what they are trying to do. And that is exactly what they are achieving. It is the reason why you see the infrastructure you see. It's the reason why you see the pitches you see. But even aside what you see on TV, it is the reason why anybody who's been to the country will tell you that we are hosting a competition in one of the best organized countries that you can see on the continent. So it's been premium, really, in terms of organization and execution.
George, just finally with you, what's been your experience? How's your experience been like?
Well, it's been a good experience, and you always, you just mentioned Marrakesh. We had a great time in Marrakesh. It's a fantastic city, and quite a number of guys are looking to come back here. It's all good. There are obviously differences between North Africa and West Africa, so you have a feel of that in terms of the organization. Also, the weather, I think, played a part in how the fans, for instance, would have wanted to enjoy the stadium and everything. Security is also on another level here. So whereas in Ivory Coast, things were centered in Abidjan, and people could go and watch games and come back and then come and jubilate, and you could see fans in their colors dancing all the way to the night. You didn't see all of that here, but they created a very good environment. I think it's been a great competition. And I think increasingly, CAF is learning how to do a lot of things. And there is a leveling up almost in terms of what you see at a FIFA competition and what you see at a CAF organized competition. So that's good for everyone. Experiences have been good for commentators, good monitors, good screens, good positions, and some great football. So I think all in all, we have had a great tournament. And for those who are worried about numbers, I hope that they are calm now, because people were looking at the stadium and were complaining, how many people are in the stadium when Morocco plays. And I said, you have forgotten that the Morocco stadiums are 60,000, 70,000, 58,000. What you had in Ivory Coast were smaller stadiums, and so they were able to fill them as much. But I think that if you have the Prince Mourad Stadium filled to that capacity, Tangier filled to that capacity, definitely the numbers are going to be more than what we saw in Ivory Coast. Good tournament, and we're yet to see the very final bit of it. We can't wait.
Well, wish you the very best in that final game as you wrap up your activities there. But let me come to the studio and wrap up with Daniel. Mufta has just stepped out briefly. Daniel, I mean, what's...
And also,
and also the cameraman should switch it to Daniel's face. The last one he was not switching. We are trying to, we are talking about we are top standards of everything. So who is the cameraman? He should switch to Daniel's face when it's time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me.
They don't see sexy Danny face.
Oh, Charlie.
It's okay, yeah.
Georgia Casamo, they switch to sexy Danny. Too much. I beg, Danny K, make the tell the Joy FM studio manager say the Christmas is finished.
It finished. I
think that's why he wasn't switching. We can see the Christmas tree there.
And our life makes serious, Charlie.
Joy FM family party in the park. Come on, somebody. What? Telling you, man.
Charlie.
It was heavy. All right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for making time. Joining us all the way from Morocco, George, Sicho, and Fentio, and that was fun. Great, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good final. Honestly, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be at 7 p.m. right?
So you won't talk about the third and fourth playoff.
Why am I
Ghana and Nigeria.
Alex Aki, don't be serious.
No, but do we really do analysis with that?
Forget that game. Forget that game. Forget that game.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh. Anyway, maybe Salah go fit take Chichiro small. You fit take Chichiro small. Yeah, somewhere.
That game we'll go watch. If on our Brothers Day commentary, that'll be the only reason why we'll go watch them.
Yeah.
But if they know they don't forget. You know that game there. Tell them for
yeah, no hala.
Charlie.
Yeah.
But it's been a good competition. Yeah. It's been a very interesting competition. AFCON is unique in its own way. It's always been unique. But what I love about CAF, and I don't want to add too much because the guys have said it all, but I love how CAF has increased the tightening in terms of the preparation, the security, the organization. It's just now on point. Look, you can't. The guys are comparing it to the World Cup and other top competitions. You can't. When you go to the AFCON, there's nothing really substandard about it at all. You can't find any aspect of organization and say this wasn't good. It's all up to the top class standard, and that's very commendable. You have to give CAF plaudits for that. They've done a really good job, and the relationship that they have with their various host nations. We saw it in Cote d'Ivoire a couple years ago, and we've seen it in Morocco again. Even in terms of the TV broadcast, it's yes, Ghana wasn't even at a competition, but they are Ghanaians on commentary. There's an African feel to the commentary, so it's for the viewers at home. There's a bit more relatability to what you are consuming on TV, and it's the best. Look, I've really enjoyed the competition, and again, the football has not disappointed. From AFCON 2019, I think we started seeing an increase in standard of not just football but coaching also, and it's continued over. And we always ask ourselves a question after the competition: will we get better? And I said this on Wednesday. I think in terms of coaching and quality of football, not drama but quality of football, I think this has been better than Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire had more drama because of the underdogs doing well, the various storylines. But this one, if you look at the competition, for example, from the quarterfinals, all the top 6 seeded teams were in the quarterfinals, plus 2 from pot 2. So the big boys have really set a standard, and the best players in the continent or on the continent have also shown. The Osimhens, the Salahs, the Mahrezes, the Manis, all the big names have come to the party at this competition. So in terms of quality, we've seen that high standard through and through, and I think it's another plus, and it's another feather in the cap of CAF, and it can only get better in the next edition. The next edition is 3 countries. It's Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, and Uganda. So it's 3 countries. It's much vast land to travel, different cultures to experience.
That would be fun,
and that would be fun. You know, crazy. Because enter
Uganda, you just roam Uganda small 1 day, 2 day tour Uganda, Kenya 2 day tour.
Tanzania, Ghana for play for Tanzania. Because 1 3 points, they will go to Zanzibar. Quick.
Charlie, it'll be alright. It'll be nice place. Yeah, man. It's really nice. Yeah, really nice. And just talking about the numbers, I mean, Brahim Diaz still leading the goal scoring chart there, 5 goals, and you got Salah. Well, really, Salah 4 goals so far in this tournament. That's impressive. Osimhen also on 4 goals, and Mahrez. So it appears that maybe. Okay, Salah and Osimhen will play in the 3rd and 4th place. So maybe if the score, we'll see who will get to pick up the goal. The Lukman has to go 3 goals there. And Brahim Diaz looking like he just might be the one ending up as the MVP. Lukman has got 4 assists. Mane is also in the mix with 3 assists. And he's done really well so far in this tournament. So we'll see how they will fare at the end of it all. It's been really good. It's been really, really, really good. Overall, the numbers are looking really good. Just going through the numbers, and it looks really nice. You see, it's the way Africa is. You see, it's the way Africa is. If not, you see the final way day on Sunday like this, no? Saturday, near foot train.
But then
3 hours.
Then we are there.
3 hours near do Morocco. You have your match by 7 a.m. near do Accra. You see, but it's the way the thing is. The way The way that thing is.
Simple,
What I used to live in Europe, you just
quick.
Belgium, France, enter,
Quick.
UK, Switzerland, you enter, train.
Simple.
What's this? Star visa,
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Even the Cote d'Ivoire say you go sit the bus inside 12 hours.
Chale. Cote d'Ivoire, man. Come on. Now, FN, takradi.
Oh, quick.
I be takradi.
Yeah.
1 hour train.
Tiny,
Boom.
quick.
You
Part
enter,
the
you
English.
reach. Oh. Even you see sometimes the finals too. They hear say you go to the stadium inside.
No. Just for day there.
Some pack, some open
Fan pack.
Chale.
If the host nation win to the solo coup. Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
Oh, no. I see some flyer with and they say Benner Boy they perform, they do some performance. See how man.
For the listen.
Charlie.
For the final.
I see a Stone Boy 2 day there. Stone Boy 2.
Boy, they town.
Boy.
Rubber today. So
Sure.
Charlie, we dey go pub. Bella boy, they this thing day. So I dey go find some people. Just enter town.
It's raining.
It is raining. So the rain will stop. The rain will stop. But the program will start like. Oh, Oine. Come. You know where the national tone.
Thanks.
I beg you. Jojado, you and I, if you go there, don't dance. I've seen your dance moves in the Joy FM.
No, I wouldn't know. I'm sure. But I won't go because I realized that today Joy FM had Thanksgiving service. I won't go.
Yeah, man.
Charlie, we go for big.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. I see the.
You see, have you seen that video of George Addo and Lexis and
yeah. One percent.
They sampas. They sampas.
Yeah, for the studio,
Although you.
Not you wasted. Check like three. You know the bed.
Oh, but I think I just pass you. Like today, if you do something.
George, you waste in rock. Therefore, oil the waste small, make flexible.
But George say even with his waist, he dance past fence.
Go out for Fenty.
Oh, yeah,
Fenty check like is he in chance? If you throw in chance for them.
You see, Sicho, you see that back in the day, the diesel manpower, the way the people they drive, you go. If George 110 in ways, that'd be how you for
I'll go tonight. My God.
Wicked. Yeah, Charlie, our boy is performing, man. Yeah, boy, SM fans,
we were on the same flight with him when we were coming back.
Oh, nice.
He was here for the opening.
Yeah.
And then he came.
Yeah.
The second trip, I think we're on the flight with him from Accra. And, when he came in, it seemed pretty calm. Okay, I thought everybody was acting cool, chill. We are all famous people here. Bro, when we arrived in Rabat, that's when I knew that I was only one famous person. Everybody they take pictures with Stonewall. I say, champion, sports journalist,
Charlie, but the driving in Morocco will be another level of us people.
The people know. Hey,
if
sorry.
You think you're a fast driver, Formula One. If you want to do Formula 1, come and drive here. Hey.
Excuse me, but drivers no. I said be your
No, brother.
No speed limit.
Some roads wanted to drive 120. I said 120. A road that says 120. Speed limits 150. We have drivers who have been driving. No, we sat in a car. Where is Ticho? Come on. We sat in a car with a driver who was driving 170. I wanted to ask the driver, please, are you about to take off or something?
Take me home. I think he didn't play inside there.
I thought he wanted to fly. My God.
Charlie, wow.
Yeah, they're so impatient. Like,
So we did so far. Thanks. Before you go, yes, as we see you, let me know John left. So we take that everything. We don't really get the play some nice music, Charlie. We don't need the guy back. We don't have the drama. So Charlie, the music is good. The music is now. We are taking for you to put the lead and the down and the vibe. They never get victory. They play nice music. If you they never play the pop. Actually, they join the car. They join the car. No problem. So they go all the way. The guy we meet for roundabout. Charlie, the guy they do action around the roundabout. Charlie,
Let's go.
Anyway, guys, we need to wrap up here. All the best.
Why are you wrapping up?
Yeah, our time is up.
Good time is up.
Yeah.
Why are you stopping us? Why are you stopping us?
We have to take BBC. We have to take BBC.
The stubborn boy.
We are taking BBC.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
George is here. Take George.
Take me now.
And then my news there, uncle. Wow.
BBC on the show, brother.
Cheers, guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday, yeah?
All right, sure.
No, Tito and George. I'm talking about Musbao and Nabila and the rest of it.
Okay. No hala.
You started on Sunday, please.
But you will see me tonight.
So Sunday we're doing the final. So we'll see.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll see you Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, Razak will do radio talk from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Champion Razak.
My God. My God.
Yeah, guys. Well, it's been fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, there are big games happening tomorrow. If you're not going to watch the third and fourth place, Manchester United and Man City are in action. So, Chelsea against Brentford. That's another game to look for. And Spurs against West Ham, another big game. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back sometime next week. Hopefully, fans will be back at that time. And we'll see what happens to the course of the week, okay? We'll try and talk more about the game on Sports Link tomorrow. Also, even later tonight at 8:30 on Journeys, we'll have some more conversations on the AFCON, so you can tune in and enjoy it all.